But Danny, so I remember this case that you're doing a little bit. I'm not good at remembering all the details of cases and stuff, but I remember hearing about it when it was going on. And the guy's name is Dees. So I have to, by law, say Dees nuts.
And then she said, "How do you spell that?" And I said, Dees. And she's like, "Oh shit, his last name is really Dees." Yes, it is. Dees nuts.
Dees nuts are sponsoring this podcast.
Let me tell you about a fucker. This guy's a no good guy. You ready?
Yes, I am ready.
In 2015, in a Boise Foothills home, a welfare check on Cartwright Road turned into a triple homicide the sheriff called heinous. Within a day, a 22-year-old walked up into Best Buy for a stereo bought with a victim's credit card. The episode follows the Welp family and their senseless murders by Adam Dees. Sources used in today's episode are articles from the Idaho Statesman.
Thank you.
Late on March 10th, 2015, a family member checking 9700 North Cartwright Road reported suspicious circumstances at the residence. Deputies arrived and found 3 adults deceased inside. The sheriff's office announced the deaths at 8:40 p.m., holding back details to protect leads. And you know it was a shit show up there.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, everybody's like, what's going on? So they had to announce it that evening because there was just too much
Police
going on.
presence and crime investigation, all that.
Ada County Sheriff Gary Rainey urged tips from anyone who noticed someone who, quote, didn't seem to fit to call in. Rainey confirmed no children lived at the home and that it was not a murder-suicide.
Because that is something that often happens when there's, we haven't heard from these 2 or 3 people in a few days. Sometimes that is the case. So
It is.
good to know that it was not that and that someone
Well,
did
and I
this.
also think that by saying that to the public, is saying, hey, there's a risk out there.
Yes. Which is
So maybe you should give us your tips. Very strategic,
absolutely
right?
putting some urgency on it.
This did not just happen in this house. There's somebody else out there. So please call in your tips. Thank you. Sheriff said that 3 people found dead in the Boise Foothills home were killed in a heinous manner. Quote, in my 31 years of law enforcement, I have probably not seen a bloodier or more violent murder occur, he said, calling the scene terrible. The victims, a woman and 2 men, all related, were killed sometime between the evening of March 8th and the morning of March 10th. When asked if the public should be afraid, Rainey said, quote, it's sad for me to say, but yes.
Well, there is a danger out there, you know.
Somebody's out just murdering people.
Mm-hmm.
The next day on March 11th, Nampa resident Adam Michael Dees, age 22, was arrested at the Boise Best Buy after he arrived to pick up a car stereo bought with a victim's credit card.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah. I just think that super smart move there.
We've got a genius on our hands, folks.
Yeah. I got a fucking credit card. Let's go shop.
Swiping it away. And shopping in person at a place with security cameras and
They have your fucking car, bro.
yes, they've got your car. They've got your
I'm just going to run into Best Buy. Hey, do you think you can install this stereo?
because there's even other ways where, I mean, you still should never be using a dead person's card because it can be tracked to you eventually. But I mean, if you ordered something online, got it shipped to a different address than your own or some type of like maybe somewhere where you knew you could go pick it up, you'd have a little bit more anonymity there for a little bit longer.
No.
In person,
With my car.
swiping that card.
Swippy swipe.
And it's just so sad. So cool, I'm getting a car stereo now. Hell yeah, this is my first priority.
Fuck yeah, bro. Let's
We're
go.
gonna be bumping. Listen, I can appreciate the need to bump at a certain age,
Right.
but foolish.
He was booked on grand theft, forgery, and a misdemeanor concealed weapon charge.
Ooh.
Because, upon using a dead person's stolen credit card, a gun in the vehicle is probably
Hello.
just cherry on top. When Dees was taken into custody, detectives impounded his black 2003 Subaru Legacy station wagon.
We're bumping in the wagon though. This is a little.
It did have a gold stripe.
That adds at least 15 horsepower from what I know about cars.
It's
If you have a racing stripe, at least 15
I
horsepower.
had a gold stripe on it.
2 of them. Get it. I mean, you're fast, too furious at this point, drifting.
So, that's fucking awesome. Investigators asked anyone who had seen that Subaru near Cartwright Road or on the Central Bench earlier in the week, and anyone approached about buying a diamond ring to contact Ada County Dispatch.
Oh, we are getting glitzed and glammed. We are getting the bling bling.
He's doing...
Living large. Somebody watched too many Fast and Furious or rap music videos. And I love rap music videos myself. But
No, he was
What are we
putting
doing?
it out there. He was...
living large.
The neighbors began to identify the family. Oh, this is so sad. Okay. The victims were Theodore Ted Welp, aged 80,
No.
Dolores Elaine Welp, age 77, and their son, Thomas Welp, age 52. The Welps had recently moved back to Boise from the Tucson area with their son, Thomas. And Thomas was mostly deaf. So just that even makes it sadder for him. Elaine was originally from Idaho, and she came from an old Chalice family, so probably old money. And Ted, a Santa Clara University graduate, rose to senior vice president at Tucson Electric Power in 1974.
Wow.
And this is interesting. And he became known for his aggressive wholesale power deals.
Really? Okay.
He was credited with inventing U.S. wholesale electricity trading.
That's a big deal. I know a thing or two about power.
That's why I thought you'd find that interesting. Thomas, their son, attended NTID studying computer science and worked for IBM. And he loved his horses, Frosty and Monsoon, who were his eyes and ears for the outdoors. He was a big outdoor lover. Despite his blindness and deafness, he was out there running cattle, and
how brave is that?
I'd be so fucking scared.
I'm scared of it, and I can see and hear.
And yeah, I'm really...
Those are
On my
big-ass
farm, I was
animals.
the most scared of cows. They're large and in charge, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I'd be so scared. But he really did love those horses, and they were his eyes and ears out
And
there.
I think horses are really intuitive, and they kind of know. So that's just really cool to hear that.
And the Welps were good people. They led the Dove Foundation, donating to Christian organizations and centers for the deaf and blind, including Bishop Kelly High School, and ongoing support to a non-denominational chapel in Stanley. They also donated $475,000 to the foundation fighting blindness.
Dang.
Yeah.
They weren't kidding around.
No.
Very passionate.
I love-
And had the money to...
Yeah, I love philanthropy.
Yeah.
Say the word for me. I love philanthropists. Did I do it right?
You did.
Thank you.
Philanthropists, we love you.
I want to be that.
Where you can just dump some money and make a difference.
And make
with
a real
someone.
difference in something. I want to do that. Anyway. Still got to pay my mortgage though first. Some bitch.
Shucks.
A family statement through James Neshe, husband of their daughter Catherine, asked for privacy and thanked the public for prayers. And later the family thanked the sheriff's office and urged anyone with information to please call the Tefros.
Because what the hell?
Their neighbor John said the Welps had moved in within the past year. He hadn't met them yet, but had noticed recent construction being done at the home. John said, quote, "This could happen anywhere. It just happened in our neck of the woods." So this is...
But this doesn't. I appreciate that comment because it is a good reminder, because in Idaho, generally, the crime is really low. But, you know, it does happen. Like, I think we've both had people close to us that have been affected by terrible violence.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a good reminder, you know, that yes, people say you don't have to lock your doors at night here. That's just pure luck. You know, you have less of a chance, but why not lock your doors?
Yep. And it really can.
Yeah, this isn't victim blaming or whatever. It's just these are the type of things that could deter someone. And
oh, Steph, just wait.
Oh, shucks.
On March 12th, Dees' bail was set at $2 million.
Damn.
Deputy Prosecutor Brian Noggle asked for $3 million, but defense attorney Isaiah Govia called the bail, quote, outrageously high.
What are we talking about? He's blinging out his hands. He's bumping up.
He hasn't been charged with anything. He's only been charged with the credit card stuff and the burglary.
Okay, I see your point.
Magistrate Teresa Gardunia, I probably fucked that up.
Sorry.
Cited public safety concerns and set a preliminary hearing for March 26th. That same morning, deputies served a warrant at Dees' home in the 1700 block of North Cody Drive in Nampa. Detectives spoke with Dees' two roommates and began searching for evidence.
Oh, they're looking.
This is so fast, too. Like, they caught him, so...
He was brazen and dumb.
Dumb.
Big old dumb here.
Mm-hmm. In a video arraignment, Dees said that he had read the complaint and answered no when he asked if he could post bond. He's like, yeah, $2 million, will you take a credit card?
I do have a brand new credit card. If I could try it, I mean, can we just swipe it and see what happens? Is what I'm imagining.
Noggle said that Dees is placed on suicide watch. Govia told the court Dees is bipolar and lacked access to his medication in custody. So there's all these things going on, you know, just got arrested. He has a mental illness, no medication. They're like, yeah, you're getting
a risk.
Yeah, you're getting a high bail and you're also being placed on suicide watch.
Okay.
Dees' father, Steve Dees, this makes me so sad, told the Idaho Statesman his son said he found the credit cards. He described his 22-year-old son as a good kid who did something stupid by using stolen credit cards and said he did not believe his son would commit a violent crime.
And you want to believe that as a parent so hard. Even though, you know, we know our kids' flaws and, you know, this and that. And sometimes we don't know all of their flaws or how deeply.
Or you could be raised in a totally fantastic family and still have...
We've seen it. Where even the person who commits the crimes admits, my childhood was great.
I had a great... Yeah, it's nothing...
qualms with it.
Right. And it'd be so... I don't know. I think that would be just so hard as a parent because you'd want to believe. Records showed an unrelated Nampa citation from October 2014 for battery and vandalism at a Walmart gas station. On March 31st, while dealing with all this other serious stuff, Dees pled guilty to disturbing the peace. In that case, the malicious injury to property was dismissed. Judge Deborah Orr suspended a 180-day jail term and ordered $1,000 in restitution and costs. Basically, he almost hit a guy on a bicycle.
Oh.
And then the guy on the bicycle followed him over to the Walmart, and they had an altercation, and he threw the bicycle.
All right.
So there's some violent tendencies there.
Yeah. Lack of emotional regulation, I'm sensing.
Yeah. But that was just a little baby thing that he already had going on before the big thing. On March 13th, Rainey said new evidence allowed him to finally tell the public they could sleep peacefully without fear of an ongoing threat. He did not say whether that meant Dees was connected to the killings.
Because they have to hold their cards close, right? Yeah. It sucks, but it is what it is.
Witnesses reported Dees trying to sell a diamond ring, and detectives recovered Elaine's diamond ring from a local jeweler.
God.
Dees remained held on that $2 million bond.
Yeah.
It's getting deep now.
Yeah, it's just all unraveling.
So back at Dees' house, detectives seized guns and hunting rifles, knives, computer equipment from all three men living at the Nampa house.
They're like, we're taking all your shit. Sorry.
Can you imagine? You're like,
what,
dude, it's just my, and listen, they're like, it's just my roommate. A 25-year-old roommate said that he and another coworker rented the home and took in Dees 5 to 6 months earlier to help with the rent because of their student loans.
Just trying to get by.
They're like, yeah, this guy from work, he needs a place.
You know him, you know more than a stranger, right? So it feels better than putting out a Craigslist ad for a stranger. You're like, at least I know, what you know of someone at work. And for the most part, that usually works out. Not here. Oh, I'd be so fucking pissed.
They took all their shit.
Oh, I bet.
And they're like, wait, I need that. Like,
they're like, yeah, we don't know if you're involved. We don't know.
But I'm not. Yo, can I have my computer back?
Like, literally, I need that for school.
One roommate stated that Dees worked at Plexus.
Good old Plexus.
SWAT even assisted in the search. One neighbor, Adrian Contreras, described a trailer, armored vehicle, and a paramilitary team with rifles. Can you imagine seeing that in your fucking neighborhood?
And you're like, oh, are they busting like a drug house down the street?
What's happening?
Oh, they're coming to our door. This is weird.
Oh, why?
Literally,
there was one roommate that sat on the lawn in handcuffs.
Oh,
I'd be so mad. Like, I'm just minding my business, doing my job, coming home, being a 25-year-old kid.
Yeah, transactional, like everyone lives here, pays the rent, blah, blah,
and
blah.
I'm sitting in handcuffs on my front yard in front of all my fucking neighbors with a SWAT team.
Yeah, everyone's getting a good look. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Press is probably there.
We don't need a trial or a judge. Let me at him, motherfucker.
Yeah, let me just talk to you for a few minutes.
Can I just see him for a few minutes? They took my fucking computer.
But yeah, I can say I'm very drama-free in my world now. And I remember a time when it felt very drama-full in my life. And this would have fucking, at my point now, this would have pissed me off.
Throw me over the fucking edge.
Handcuffed on my own front lawn.
Over the edge. And I probably wouldn't have behaved.
And listen, when they search houses, this is the thing that I have a big problem with. When cops are searching houses with SWAT teams and everything, like once they've cleared the house, when they turn it over like they're a burglar, one, I think it's rude. Two, I think it's ineffective. You can't tell me that dumping out drawers on the ground and kind of kicking through it and just fucking trashing the place is an effective way of evidence recovery. I want in there a fucking type A person who's cataloging and neatly like knows everything. I feel like that's a huge miss in law enforcement. Like they go in and it's almost like their goal is to terrorize. No, your goal is to collect evidence. How are you dumping shit and just trashing the place? How is that an effective means of collecting evidence needed for a crime? Even if a crime wasn't committed there.
Right.
I want to know, oh, we found this little teeny tiny journal. Or, oh, we found this handwritten note with, the suspect.
We found this gold coin that is rare.
And that is registered and insured, by the victim. We want to find that. So that shit pisses me off because I feel like it's, one, stupid as fuck, and two, also just rude.
Let me just give an example. So, is dumping the drawer of socks, looking for such gold coin, better than opening each pair of socks and unrolling them?
No.
See? You've got a fantastic point. We're on the same page.
Yes, absolutely. And it's always because I've seen so many crime scene and, documentaries where they show them going through shit. And I'm like, this is just point blank, not efficient and effective for what your goal is. Why are you doing that?
You're trying to find a little gold coin tucked into a sock.
There could be someone's hair on a hat that
you threw across the room.
It needs to be methodical. It needs to be organized, cataloged, and then that will help you win a case. Less contamination, less missed evidence. Law enforcement, please stop doing this shit. Pisses me off so bad. Rant over.
The poor roommate said, I just feel so bad for the roomies. He said Dees mostly played Battlefield, Far Cry, and Destiny. Went hunting with his father and seemed pretty ordinary.
Really?
He said Dees quit Plexus in November or December. So he'd been out of work for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, and most people don't have the savings to accommodate that. I wonder if there was any drama there. I'm just speculating, of course.
Right.
But
at the end of March, detectives and crime scene analysts were meticulously processing the residence.
Okay, now we're being... And I will say, I don't know how it looked on this specific case.
No, meticulously processing the Welp's residence.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The precise cause of the Welp's death has not been released yet. They won't.
They're not saying anything.
Nope. Coroner Dottie Owens issued no further information either. But Dees has still not been charged in the killings. So they're meticulously going through that house, and Dees is in jail, but still nothing.
And I get the not wanting to make a mistake because appeals, we've seen so many appeals.
Appeals.
Evidence collection was not done correctly, or so many things that cause a mistrial or allow an appeal, or basically them saying the verdict wasn't sound and undoing the verdict to where you have to start all over again. So I think people got a lot more cognizant of that in the early or late 90s, 2000s, because it felt like before we were kind of just
willy-nilly, you're dead. We got
fast
you.
And loose. You're going to get the death penalty and no one's going to contest it.
You can definitely see the difference in cases from the 80s, 70s and 80s to, the cases that we do after 2000, because they're like, this blood evidence is important because it could have DNA. And we might not be able to find the guy now, but we can later. And I love those things, by the way. Love that. A preliminary hearing that had been set for March 26 was postponed to April 15th. Attorney Isaiah Govia withdrew from the case, and Magistrate Gardunia appointed a public defender. I couldn't find why he withdrew from the case.
He's probably like takes a lot.
Well, a lot of times it's a conflict of interest. Mm-hmm. That's what I've seen mostly. But he could have just said, I can't work with this client. Like, literally, that's a reason. Mm-hmm. Like, they're not listening to me. I can't work with this client.
And they know that if they were to go to trial, that it would...
It's just not going to pan out. Or it could be that they have another case that they need to try.
Right. It's just
so there's multiple reasons. I couldn't find the reason. I don't. Because it wasn't reported, I'm assuming it was something
Yeah, we all
lame,
know.
like he already had court or he had vacation coming up, or he
Go
had
ahead,
3
Reno.
kids at home and couldn't take on this kind of a serious case, or didn't have the knowledge to take on this kind of a serious case. So,
Or maybe he had a petty scheduled that weekend. Who knows?
who knows? Or maybe he didn't like the guy. Anyway,
True.
finally, on April 8th, a grand jury indicted Dees on 3 counts of first-degree murder. The indictment said the victims were bludgeoned and shot in the head.
How terrible.
Tom was also stabbed in the neck.
Overkill. Like, just...
A 9mm handgun and a baseball bat were used in the killings. That's something else.
Yeah, especially a random...
The bat? Prosecutor Jan Bennett, joined by Rainey, declined to discuss whether Dees knew the victims or if there was forced entry or any other suspects.
Of course.
They're keeping it tight.
Yep.
No decision had been made on seeking the death penalty yet. Because, it's Idaho. Dees was also indicted for stealing jewelry and credit cards, using Ted's credit cards on March 10th. It was so small. At Sears, Oakley, The Buckle,
Ballin'.
and Barbacoa.
Barbacoa is a very popular restaurant around here. And listen, I'm not saying I'm not a food critic. It is fun. It's definitely, the prices is like, you would do it for a special occasion, or if your company wants to throw a big bash and you got the company card. Very beautiful, scenic, decorated very nicely.
It's fun.
Very Instagrammable, for sure.
The bathroom, for sure.
The bathrooms are iconic.
Yeah.
The best bathroom selfie you're ever going to take in your life is going, well, in Idaho, is going to happen here.
Yeah.
But everything's on fire for no reason. Your food's on fire. The storage is more of it. Your appetizer's on fire. Your meal's on fire. Your dessert's on fire. Like, it's so. I will just say, I love the restaurant. It's got a nice view. They've got a great happy hour, but it's a little. Once you've been there a few times, you're like, okay, I get it. You're letting everything on fire. Like, we understand.
But it's expensive.
It is. That's why you got to go for happy hour for the half price drinks and apps. Tableside guac, anyone?
Anyone? Rainey said Dee's 2 roommates had finally been cleared.
What a relief for them.
And he also said about 50 personnel had logged over 1,000 hours on the case so far.
They're getting the work done.
They're like, we're getting you, fucker. Come on. In his first post-indictment court appearance, Dees, shackled to a wheelchair, appeared by video and consulted with his attorney, Tony Geddes. I kind of got the feeling from the reading that he was in the wheelchair because he was combative.
Oh, so like one of those, I don't know what the technical term is, but I've seen police videos where it's like a wheelchair, but basically to keep you from flailing, like when someone's booked in. I'm kind of imagining something like that.
Or resisting moving. They're like, well, you got to go to court. So
because we can't allow you to walk by yourself because you're trying to fucking windmill us, bro.
Right.
Kind of like a spin.
Or doesn't want to go because he's scared. Maybe they just said, pop a squat, put some hand chains on him, and you're going. You got to go to your
It's
court.
required.
Yeah. Not an option. Additional counts included 4 credit card forgeries, 2 robberies, burglary, and a use of a deadly weapon during a crime, and concealing a dangerous weapon. Everything. A district court arraignment before Judge Sam Hoagland was set for April 16th. So, we are moving on from magistrates.
Moving right along.
To judges. On May 14th, Dees stood silent in front of Judge Hoagland, so the judge entered a not guilty plea for Dees and set a trial for September 29th.
All right.
On June 26th, Dees pled guilty to 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of robbery.
Wow.
In exchange, because they had him dead to rights.
It was
Meticulously dead to rights. The deal guaranteed life without parole. The record said Tom, who was nearly blind and deaf, suffered a stab wound to the neck, and all three were shot in the head and repeatedly struck with a wooden baseball bat.
Why was that necessary? These are two elderly folks, one somewhat older person that's nearly blind and deaf, cannot be very much of a threat to you. We're using 3 different weapons. It's tough for me to picture it. And this is me assuming and making a speculation, but it feels like someone wanted to be brutal. Because if you have a gun,
why are we using a bat?
why is the bat and knife even necessary? Hello?
Exactly.
It just seems very brutal and out of control to me.
It is. So, you want to hear some evidence? So, what happened?
Yes, I do.
A Walmart in Garden City showed surveillance that on 5 p.m. on March 8th, Dees was buying a black bat, ski mask, and zip ties.
Okay.
Then on March 9th, he took a Lane's diamond ring to a jeweler to sell, claiming he found it on the roadside. Red flag. You know that guy was like,
You found it on the road.
So as soon as investigators were like, we're looking for, and the jeweler's like, I got it. You knew he red flagged.
He probably had it in the dangerous file, like the big red flag file.
Well, and these guys they had money, so it was probably a very nice ring.
Yeah.
Investigators said he stole tools, jewelry, and of course, the credit cards.
Dipshit.
He used the cards at 2 Mountain Home stores and several Boise stores, and also ditched evidence at several of those locations.
Smarty pants.
Ted's luggage was in the trash behind Barbacoa.
I bet it was nice luggage too.
But it held the bloody bat that was shattered in 2. And the test on the bat matched Thomas's blood.
Easy. Like you said, dead to rights. But once again, I'm not trying to encourage people to be better. It's just so disappointing that there's... What year was this?
15.
There was still such a wealth of information out there.
The internet was there, bro.
Yes, and there was
Dateline.
Dateline of, you just listen to that and you hear the same mistakes over and over.
You could even go back old school unsolved mysteries.
Exactly. What are we if you're going to commit yourself to something this terrible, which I'm not encouraging, the lack of foresight is astounding to me.
After the Best Buy arrest, police recovered Ted's shoes and a ski mask dumped there.
Handy.
It's like, just sprinkle it.
We've got the card ping. We've got the camera footage. We've got your car. All we had to do was look in the dumpster, and you used the handy dandy dumpster that was right there because listen, I'm a sucker for convenience. I hate making extra trips to do anything. I'm sorry. I will literally kill myself to make one trip with groceries into the house. So going, if I have to go to the Best Buy to get my new sound system for my Subaru so I can be bumping and get all the gentlemen and ladies with my bumping car system, I get it. You don't want to go to a different dumpster. But if you've committed one of the worst crimes, terrible things, and you don't want to be in jail for the rest of your life, maybe a little quick trip to a different dumpster would be in your best interest.
Stop at Jackson's.
I'm just saying.
Stop at a Jackson's.
Stop at a construction site where there hopefully isn't cameras. Hey, that's an idea. Don't listen to the serial killers. Do not listen to this. Earmuff it. But I'm just it's tough for me.
The
you're doing
big
something
stupidity, like
that's serious.
so stupid.
You want to sit down. I wouldn't do this. But if something like this happened to me or a friend, I would be like thinking of every possible thing. And it's so, even just with movies, like the ability to be just so fucking dumb with it baffles me every fucking time.
And this is real life. And he was an idiot.
Yes.
The Welp family supported the plea to avoid a long trial and appeals. I agree.
I can totally
Like,
get
he
behind
can't, he's never getting out. He can't contest it. He can't appeal.
that. You don't have to be drugged back into the courtroom.
Right. And relive your family's murders.
Again, and try to justify to a new
And then the
parole board.
anxiety of having all that come up. I can't even imagine. Like, I got to go fight this again.
Of someone being like, they found Jesus or they did this community they're doing this.
Look, good for you. Meet him later. Bye.
Like, I hope that's enriching for your life in there. That's great that you're doing that. Please enrich your life in there and maybe become a better person. But why the fuck do we want you on the streets?
Don't want to hear you. Bye. On the August 28th sentencing hearing, Catherine, their daughter, told Dees, quote, "You took my mother's life, father's life, brother's life. Now we take yours, 1 minute at a time." Fuck yeah, sis.
That is cutting, and I do like that.
Fuck yeah.
Because I like when they give them something to think about. And listen, everything doesn't have to be cutting or biting or whatever, but I can tell you if someone said that to me, that every minute we're taking that from you, it's ours,
And he's 22.
that would sit with me.
Yeah. Oh, she fucking
It
killed
puts a reality
And you know
on it.
what? So classy, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd like to think I'd be classy in that situation. I'd be like, you're a motherfucker. No.
I'd be getting
So
arrested
classy,
for
like-
windmilling a bitch, probably.
She's just like, you did this, and she's saying to go fuck yourself
Your life's ours now.
very politely and in a beautiful way. So way to go, sis.
Yes.
What a heartbreak for her. I'd fucking,
But
my
love-
parents make it into their fucking 80s, and you fucking cowardly fucking dick.
There was no need for it.
No. He could have.
Senseless.
Oh, and my deaf and blind brother? You could have just fucking
You could have just tied him
used
up,
a
probably.
soft rope or a tie and just tied their hands behind their back and took whatever the fuck you wanted. There was no need for guns and bashing.
Yeah, stolen all their valuables that were physical and gone to another state. And you might have not even been caught if that was the case.
Well, he had to get that Subaru bumping.
Yes, he needed a sound system right now. First priority.
Judge Sam Hoagland imposed life without parole for each victim, plus 25 years for robbery. Detective Jared Watson said Dees lingered after the killings. He emptied Ted's wallet, Elaine's purse, and her jewelry box. And this is a weird...
So he was very meticulous at this point.
Dees shoved the left crossbar of a crucifix into the wall above Elaine's nightstand. So literally took a crucifix and like stabbed it in the wall.
Oh, they're gonna think it's a satanic cult.
Yeah.
That's your best idea. Like,
Charles Manson was here.
y'all fucking suck at this shit, and you should have never gotten into this career path.
Over the next 2 days, Dees used the Welp's cards for purchases. We know this,
Having
but let me
a
give you some
blast.
details, including a $2,500 television,
Ooh, ballin'.
a $200 meal at Barbacoa. We told you it was expensive.
And this was
10 years ago.
yes.
And then in Ted's discarded suitcase, police found the shattered bat, 3 spent shell casings, keeping all the
Okay.
evidence together, making it nice and tidy.
Yeah, address it to the investigators at this point. What the fuck are we doing?
And 10 Elaine's driver's licenses.
Hello? Why did you need to take those? What benefit? What benefit? They're going to know who it is. Easily you can find out who it is. Property records, fingerprints, any. Why are we taking in was this your first bout at trying to be a serial killer and these are your little trophies? You absolute dipshit.
Not getting it. Remember the raid on the house?
Yes.
With all the roommates? There was some evidence pulled out of there. Because they found Elaine's pearls and earrings in Dees' Nampa closet. Like, it's there. You're bringing it home.
What are you doing with pearls, bro? Holding them in your house as a roommate. And just like you said, the jeweler, as soon as this came out, was like, listen up. I got it. It's you walking into a jewelry store with that type of ring. I mean, this isn't any shade, but it's
I found
people that deal in big jewelry and, nice things. They know.
They've seen it all. Oh, you mean this? This is what I imagine. If I was a jeweler and a 22-year-old kid came in with a diamond ring, I'd be like, you stole this from your mom.
Yeah, that's what
you stole this from your grandma. You stole this from your auntie. You stole this from somebody.
And if it's your rich family, they'll probably forgive you and it'll all roll over. So that's why you're not.
That jeweler definitely set that ring aside. Yes. I fucking promise you. Mm-hmm. She's like, there, because you have to give ID. You have to give ID. He probably just is like, I'm collecting. I'm basically a detective now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is just wild.
Dees apologized. Don't care. His attorney said he went in to rob the Welps and, quote, something horrible happened. He happened. If you cannot rob people in their 80s or near 80s and a deaf and blind son, if you cannot rob them effectively without killing them, you are a fucking loser. Something horrible happened.
Yes, you happened.
Prosecutors countered with the Walmart stills and described the bindings, the beatings, and the headshots. Noggle said, quote, he tortured these people. I noted that
disgusting.
He really did, like you said. He could have just tied these guys up by gunpoint. Mm-hmm. Maybe not. But he could have just tied them up and stole what he wanted. There was no reason
to murder everyone and to do it brutally with 3 different weapons.
Yeah. Why are we doing this?
3 different known weapons. That's probably not counting any physical violence of if there was a scuffle or anything. No. He was there. That's my opinion, is that he was there for brutality. And I think he also wanted money. He was out of work, whatever. But I think that
there was violence.
He thought that he was some type of villain that could do this.
And I wish we had money, because I would love to hear this jail phone call. I wish we could go get the records. But it was also noted that Dees had joked about the murders in a jail phone call.
What an absolute cunt.
Mm-hmm. So on August 31st, in a debrief required by the plea bargain, Dees told detective he chose the Cartwright Roadhouse because it was remote and looked affluent. I don't think he said affluent. He probably said they looked rich.
Big money. Yeah.
He said heavy exposure. This was so 2015. Heavy exposure to first-person shooter games made killing, quote, not difficult. And claimed he acted alone. And he did. Dees admitted it was his first home invasion robbery, stating he might have repeated if he hadn't been caught.
And that is so wild, because how do you not even reflect? Let's say that you panicked.
It's a fucking inside thought anyways. Look, if I'm getting debriefed, I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
I would have never done that again.
No, he said he would.
But you would feel that if you had more than one brain cell. Because then you can say, I got myself into something. I didn't even know what I was doing. I panicked. Yes, it could help.
I thought it was a video game, bro.
You're telling people that given the chance, you do it again.
Sure.
Even though you fucking, one, sucked at it the first time, but two, this is a danger to the public. And probably 2 and 1 should be reversed. But what the fuck?
He said he was depressed and suicidal.
Oh. I'm sorry.
That's how I feel too.
I'm not saying that's not a big deal.
Suicidal people, listen, suicidal people.
They're not doing this.
They're not. They're only concerned about themselves.
They feel
their
the
pain.
burden. Yes.
Yeah, they're not worried. They're not going out. Oh, I need to go steal some money. No.
And then big ballin' after and hurting people with
I'm going to go have a $200 meal of barbacoa. Thank you.
Fuck you. No, this is literally like criminal treat yourself. What the fuck?
So he said he used Google Maps to scout remote high-end homes around the Boise and Mountain Home area. He then, this is why he's such a fucking bad, he's a bad dude anyways. This is all fucking premeditated.
Oh, yeah.
He then staked out the residence on March 8th. So he drove up there. And then he came back home and put on his dark clothing with
his
guns
little
and
murder
knives.
kit.
Then he bought his murder kit at Walmart. He said he first broke into a second house under construction to take power tools and then entered the main house through an open garage door. Using keys found inside of a truck to get inside the house. They did lock their house doors.
And that's so that's so shitty that he was able to do it that way. That's probably the most logical thing, I guess you could say, that he had done this whole time. But that's just, I could make that mistake so easily. Absolutely. And it's just...
He also said the security system was not armed and that if he would have left if it had been.
If you start hearing alarms going off, it's a huge deterrent.
And he also said he would have left if the family had owned a larger dog.
And that's worth it.
I don't know if I believe that, though, because he had a gun.
But he had a gun and
He's dog blaming.
Yeah, we don't dog blame and shame.
No.
Everyone doesn't need to have a big dog. But I will say, listen up. I know that this is the experience for a lot of folks with big dogs, is they do have a very intimidating bark. And sometimes they have the bite to match. Not always. But someone who is nervous enough to, it's a nerve-wracking thing to break into someone's house. And I don't know if anyone's ever seen getting bit by a dog or been bit by a dog themselves. I am not fucking with a big-ass dog with a big-ass bark.
But if you had a gun...
Maybe.
But then you'd wake up... Look, we're getting deep.
Yeah, now we're making it messy. There's more evidence. I do feel like that's a big deterrent. So I think it's nice that he said these things that are a deterrent for someone doing their first time, doing a big B&E of this would have deterred me. That's helpful that he shared that, but
still a dick.
You could have every defense up and it could still happen. So this isn't to like paranoid anyone, but even if you live in a safe town where you feel like you can leave your doors unlocked, just lock them. Not to blame and shame, but it's something that if someone did for some random reason target you, might deter them. Like,
I feel bad.
I cannot believe the depravity of this story.
Unnecessary.
Senseless.
None of those people were a threat to him.
No. A young, spry 22-year-old against a mostly deaf and blind older gentleman, and then 2 elderly, a couple.
Yeah. And a little dog. Go fuck yourself, Dees. He is currently 32.
Good God. That's
and will be serving 3 life 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. And he's down in good old the Saguaro Correctional Center in Arizona.
Please, at your leisure, Mr. Dees, rot.
He's down there with several of his
Good old besties.
horrible besties. Anyway, this was just sad and tragic, and these were really good people. And they just came back to Idaho.
And just knowing that you were the target because of Google Maps and just fucking weird ass assumptions of a 22-year-old loser. And it's just absolutely terrible. I felt bad for their family. And
Dees, you're a fucker. Yeah.
A crime of fucking stupidity and
A lot of stupid stuff.
dipshittedness.
Yeah.
Not a crime of passion and not that that's right, but you
No
can at least
reason.
understand why that happens a little bit. This is fucking stupid. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Dani, for finding this case and researching it. It's one that I've always wondered about because it's one that I could remember just hearing, bits and pieces on the nightly news, our nightly local news, as everyone does around that time frame. And I never really remembered the resolve of it, but I remember how big and urgent it was. Like, this terrible thing happened. And there was
fucking home invasion.
Yes, they put the urgency out there, and it was scary because it was unexplainable and so out of character for Idaho, for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dani. Follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you like. Questions, concerns, case recommendations, email those to us at thelethalibrary@gmail.com. Any closing thoughts, Dani?
That's all I got tonight, sis.
All right. Well, enjoy. Have a great day, weekend, week, whatever's coming up for you. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by Jared's poker game that he planned on the night we're recording. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Love you. Thank you for being a part of our podcast.
It's a group effort here.
These are our sound engineers. We love them deeply. And
Oh, we
dearly.
do. Oh, all right.